I've waited 9 long years for this game. It's finally here, and I'm here to give you an honest review while remaining major story spoiler free on Until Dawn. Part of the reason I've been excitedly waiting so long for this is I greatly enjoy butterfly effect games, where your choices heavily influence how the story goes, leading to replayability in future playthroughs, where the story could have a drastic difference the next time you play it. All it takes is one split decision to change everything. I'm sure there has been a game or two you've watched a playthrough on because you couldn't play it yourself. This was that game for me, as it was a PlayStation exclusive for the longest time. I'm not one for horror games. Typically, I avoid them because I don't do scary very well. But this was the exception. It's got some big names in this game, from people like Hayden Panettiere, Brett Dalton, and probably the most noticeable name on this list, Rami Malek. A tragic event took place at the Washington Lodge on Blackwood Mountain. Now, 8 friends are reuniting 1 year after this horrific occurrence, with the idea of being there to reminisce and come together once again as friends. But there are other sinister forces stirring about, trapping you on the mountain. It's a slasher-style tale. Freaky stuff is happening, and it's your job to choose wisely along the way of getting to the bottom of what is happening on Blackwood Mountain. If you have ever found yourself playing one of these Choices Matter games and enjoying it in any way, you may want to keep this game on your radar because it's a good one. If you've never played a Choice Matter game, hang tight, and I'll break it down more to see if it's something you can get on board with. A lot of this game is going to seem like a walking simulator as it's narrative driven. However, it can get very tricky on decisions having quick time events where you gotta pick quick and be sharp on those button presses, because that's all it can take to lose a character. Or something is coming after you. Which one do you choose? Do you take a chance climbing down safely or jump, hoping to land alright to shed a few extra precious seconds? I somehow got crazy lucky on my playthrough, where I managed to save 6 out of the 8 characters. The game is going to be formatted in 10 chapters, taking about 8 to 10 hours to beat. If you are looking to 100% this, it's said to be around 19 to 20 hours. Now, if you are like,
Hoodie, I'm sold.
Not so fast!
I got a few other key things to point out before you click away. If you are a little tighter on funds or not chomping at the bit to play this, I would wait a while, because this is a $60 game. I personally dropped the money on this because I had waited such a long time and had no hesitancy when it came to purchasing this, but I had the funds to do so, because even though I really enjoyed my playthrough on this game, one of the heavy driving factors of this game is a spooky unknowing with the story. Once you've beaten it, that disappears. I can go back and play it, learning something new by deciding differently on another playthrough. Who knows, I may do that to see if I can spare all 8 characters, but I'm not going to get that same feeling as I once did playing it for the first time. That's just a sad truth to the way the story was crafted. It's not a bad story, by any means. It's not the best either, as if you were older, seeing some of these decisions that these high schoolers make is a little cringe or makes you reflect like, oh my god, was I like that when I was younger?
What's so important in the bag, anyways?
It's just my undies. The lacy ones.
Another thing to point out, if you were on PC and have played a PlayStation port before, you may know sometimes they got bugs and weird glitches to work out in the beginning. Like a character showing up as the headless girl momentarily, playing on a controller that becomes unresponsive with the game, or audio cutting out when you have a controller plugged in. So, if you hang tight, that'll probably get smoothed out within the first few weeks of its release, making it a better overall experience when you do get around to playing it. Overall, I liked the game. I liked the story. I think the cast had talented performances. The graphics are insanely good, being built with the Unreal Engine 5, making it look really impressive, and at times, too realistic. The downside to Unreal Engine 5 is I'd recommend taking a closer look at the system requirements to see if your PC build is okay to run it. Plus, they do want you to use quite a bit of that SSD storage for it too. I'm not sure why PlayStation persisted on doing this again, but even if you're playing on PC, they do require you to make a PlayStation account in order to play the game.
Oh, well, that's just stupid.
I feel like they don't really think that part through, and it's probably hurting them when it comes to PC sales and just the player count, because not everyone is going to want to do this. I didn't want to. Not sure why they didn't learn their lesson with the Helldivers 2 fiasco. That was my biggest frustration with this game, honestly, as I found that completely unnecessary. But past that, I found more pros than cons with this one. I would like to see a sequel, because they did leave it open for a possibility with the minor cutscene they show the player after the end credits. With there being talks of a movie coming out as well, this would be the perfect setup hype for a sequel game, I think. Will we see an Until Dawn 2? Hope so, but time will tell. But for now, that's going to conclude this Until Dawn review. Thanks to those who stuck it out till the end. I appreciate you and your patience and time. Let me know. What do you think about Until Dawn? Please drop a like and consider subscribing. I'd love to have you join this growing gaming community if you haven't already. But most importantly, remember to take care of yourself. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video.
Well, I'm afraid we're out of time for now. But please, I would like you to contemplate what it is that it's missing from that picture. The thing that's driving your fear. We need to unwrap it. Don't you agree? But the next time. do, 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 do.